guys, today I'm doing my kind of first impressions on the Chris Reeves uh, large Sebenza 21 and Insingo grind. Before we get started, I do want to apologize for any wind sound. I can't control that, of course. But with no further ado, let's get into this awesome knife. So I just wanted you guys to hear that opening, and I'm going to reopen that knife just so you can hear just how crisp this knife sounds. I think it sounds really nice locking up. I really like that sound, and it sounds really good, the detent as well. If you guys can hear that, I'm not sure how bad the wind noise is, but this knife is really awesome so far. I've had it for about 3 days, so this isn't my first impressions quite. I did remove the lanyard pin plus the lanyard off of it because I'm carrying this knife with the clip, and so I didn't really need the lanyard. It got in my way more than it didn't. Unfortunately, with the lanyard pin, it's kind of a part, or it is a part of the lanyard, so if you get rid of the lanyard, you have to get rid of that awesome blue titanium pin that's usually there. But for me, I just couldn't stand that lanyard anymore, so I did take that off. So that's the only change I've made to it so far. But let's actually take a look at this gorgeous knife. What I think is gorgeous. I'm going to try and refrain from what everyone else talks about, and admittedly, I'll probably be doing an EDC review on this sometime in the winter or spring. So this is primarily my first impressions, and to tell you guys kind of why I went with the Insingo grind, because you guys just don't see or most people that buy a Sebenza don't buy the Insingo grind, but we'll get to that in a little bit. To start off, I do understand these are kind of controversial knives because a lot of people see how just plain this looks, you know, just titanium frame lock, just a titanium frame lock, hollow grind blade, nothing really special. I mean, you know, this is blue anodized here, and there's a blue anodized backspacer here, but other than that, there's really nothing that stands out. And even if you get like the micarta or wood inlays, they're just little, you know, pieces of inlaid micarta or wood, and so it's nothing really special. So a lot of people criticize them because for the same price, which this is $410, and the inlaid and all that goes even higher. But for those prices, you can get all kinds of wild knives made by many custom makers. But the one thing that they lack is the refinement, and I have used a few of them, a few higher end knives, and so I can say this with some surety, but they do lack a lot of refinement, whereas what I really love about this is, like I said, that opening and closing not only is very positive, this is one of the most positive detents that I've ever heard, but as well, the smoothness is impeccable. I mean, you can get this kind of smoothness out of like a Benchmade, but you have to do a lot of loosening up to the pivot, and you get a lot of play generally when you loosen it up that much, and that's just with any general mass-produced knife. So the refinement is something that I really love so far. As well, I think the jimping on this knife is a home run, because if you guys know me, you know that I generally hate jimping, and that's because when you apply a lot of pressure to it, it generally hurts, or effective jimping that'll dig in generally hurts, and this isn't a whole lot different. If you dig in really deep, it will hurt, but what I like is that it has a lot of grip, in that you don't have to really put a lot of force down on the jimping to get locked in, and that means that the grip doesn't hurt you as much, so you're locked in, but it's not as painful as a lot of other jimping, and so that is a real home run for me. So now on to the Insingo grind. What I really like about the Insingo grind, or there's two things that I really do like about it, and one, and I don't know how alone I am in this category, but I think the Insingo grind looks really nice, to be honest. I'm guessing I'm pretty alone in that, just because most of the Sebenza owners, or ones that have done videos at least, do not have the Insingo grind. You can't get the Insingo grind in any of the wood inlays or any of the really special kind of options. And I think that's a real shame because, like I said, I think this Insingo grind blade just looks awesome. Now, for those who haven't really looked at the Insingo grind and don't really know much about it, it's essentially, and this is what I liked most about it, but it's essentially a reverse drop point. So what that means is generally, most drop points have a lot more structural support to the tip, and this one is no different, although it's reversed. It does have a structural support going to the tip. So what that means is, I'm not necessarily saying you should pry nails out of wood with this tip, and I'm not necessarily saying it would do that, but it's a lot stronger than a Wharncliffe or a sheep's-footed blade, because both of those are notoriously very weak at the tip, and that's because they have no support at the tip. And if you guys know, I hate weak tips, just for the fact that I don't generally abuse the tips on knives, but I do use them. And so I like them to be strong, and so generally I like the tips of my knives to be strong. And that's what the second point that I really liked about the Insingo grind. That's pretty much all I have to say about the Sebenza. It really is great. I mean, I'll probably do some skinning of game animals with it. I don't know if I'll show it or not, but I probably will dress some game animals with it just for the fun of it. As far as an EDC blade goes, most of you guys should already know, or any enthusiasts in the knife realm should already know, that the Sebenzas just are awesome. They are just about as perfect as you can get, and I certainly would have to agree. It can be hard justifying one when you're looking at a picture or when you're looking at a price tag, but if you ever get to hold one and feel how solid they are, how great and how loud the lockup is, the knife just really speaks for itself in the quality. And so overall I really like it, and I'm out.